What's going on, everybody? Deal or No Deal here, and today we are playing some Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. I just joined a random lobby, and we're playing on the silver difficulty. And the premise of this commentary is to showcase what the multiplayer is like, because maybe there's a lot of people who maybe don't have the game, or maybe didn't try out the multiplayer, or maybe just didn't give it enough of a chance, because I honestly love this multiplayer. I've been playing a lot. I don't really want to play Call of Duty or anything else, because I find that this multiplayer is really great, and there's multiple reasons why. The first is just the premise of the game. It's kind of a survival, think Black Ops Zombies, only you can win. There's 10 waves, and then there's the final objective. You can win, and then you get experience, you get money, and your level goes up. And I like that. I like the premise of working together as opposed to working against each other. And it creates for a really good atmosphere and really good teamwork, because a lot of this community, unlike the Call of Duty community, gets along. Everyone's really nice. I've met plenty of new friends just from random lobbies talking to one another, and I gotta say, I'm really liking it. It's cool. I don't meet these kind of people on Call of Duty. There's no trash talking, there's no insulting, it's just teamwork, and it's nice. And the other thing I really like about this multiplayer is the premise of unlocking stuff. There's a whole store where you can buy packs with the money that you either earn in the game or in real life money. And when you buy a pack, you have a chance of getting, maybe an uncommon or a rare. It's kind of like buying a Yu-Gi-Oh card pack. You don't really know what you're going to get. And that's cool because it makes playing the game, it gives a lot more incentive. Plus, when you get something really valuable, it feels really cool. So I do enjoy that. Now let me kind of explain what's going on here. I am playing as the Turian Sentinel. Turians are just a race within the Mass Effect series, and a Sentinel is a particular class that is both biotic and tech. What you need to know, because I don't really use the powers too much, is that I have tech armor, which is like that hologram armor around me, which is giving me a plus 40% resistance to all damage. Now, the whole point of my Sentinel setup is to be really tanky like that and use really powerful weapons. I am using one of the most powerful snipers, as well as one of the most, I'm not entirely sure, shotguns. My recharge power is really slow, because when you equip heavy weapons like that, it can affect your recharge time. But I don't really use the powers. They're not too great. That's not really what I'm going for. So I'm kind of a brute force kind of guy. I'm just going for a lot of gun work and a lot of up-in-your-face, shoot you with a shotgun or long range with a sniper. And it works out really well. It's one of my favorite setups, and it helps just have fun. Now, I like the multiplayer because there's a lot of different class setups, too. Each one is different in its own regard. For example, you'll see this blue lady in front of me over there. That's an Asari, and the one next to me as well. And what's really cool about Asaris is they're really good with biotics. So, when it comes to kind of like telekinesis in a way, they can push, they can throw, they can freeze people, like psychic abilities, and that's really cool. So when you see a lot of that blue aura stuff, like that bubble in front of me, that's the Asari going to work. So each class plays a role, and it's nice to kind of combine and mix different classes to make a really good setup. Like right here is a perfect example of teamwork. The Asari uses stasis to freeze the enemy, and I go up with this really powerful shotgun and just destroy them. And with teamwork like that, we're going to get far. And I'm not going to spoil too much about the gameplay, but you'll see this technique used a lot, and it really is beneficial. So it is one thing to kind of talk to teammates, either friends or randoms, and kind of set up a good team. You can get away with using whatever in bronze, because bronze is a very easy difficulty. But I'm playing on silver, which is pretty challenging. It's not too hard, because there's gold, which I have yet to actually complete. But silver can definitely, whoop your ass if you're not paying attention and not putting all of your attention in there. It's like when you pull stupid moves like the one I just did there, you could potentially lose the game. However, we were not in a situation where that would happen. So each wave, I believe it's every 2 waves or every 3 waves, there's a different objective that will come up on top of completing the enemies. Because you want to eliminate all enemies each wave. But when the objective comes up, which I think this round coming up there is, usually it's staying in an objective to try to capture it, or planting things, very similar to, let's say, like a Call of Duty game type. But it is stressful, because you would think it'd be easy, but with enemies around you, and the enemies don't stop until the objective is complete, it can create a very stressful but very frantic and fun scenario. So That's just another thing on top of this that I really like. And what's really cool when you think about it is Mass Effect was never meant to be a multiplayer game. It was always a single-player experience. And the multiplayer seemed very tacked on from the beginning, but it's very good. It is very good. I mean, and they even balance it. They patch it, so it's not just a, hey, we threw it in here, have fun. It's just like, hey, want to be competitive, then, we're fixing things. Like, there was an assault rifle that was like a grenade launcher that was really powerful at the beginning of the game, and they patched it, so now it's not, the overpowered weapon, so people can't just kind of run rampage on any difficulty with little issue. And I like that. It's just a whole different environment than I've seen before. In games like Left 4 Dead, zombies from Call of Duty kind of fit that picture as well, because you're not working against people, you're playing with them, and that's what I like. So the tactic for this map, I forget the names, they're all very similar, but I like to come up here and have a nice overlook on the way down there. A lot of the enemies spawn from over there and come walking towards. Particularly this match, it doesn't happen so much in the beginning, so it kind of makes me look dumb, but trust me, it will happen eventually. Now, one of the downsides to my class, because I am a sniper shotty, and both require a reload after each shot, because I have a bolt action, and then, I don't know, I guess the shotgun requires a bolt too, because I have to, like, reload. Anyways, it makes me kind of bad if I miss my shots, so I really have to be careful, really kind of have to be accurate, and hope a teammate's around. But that's why I'm wearing the tech armor, that's why I'm trying to make myself very beefy, because if I miss the first shot, I hopefully don't want to die, so I try to prevent that with a lot of defenses. And I have yet to explain even the equipment and stuff, because there's a lot more that goes into this. It's not just a, hey, you jump in as a class and play. I mean, you set up your classes with weapons of your choice. You can equip them with different mods to increase different stats. You have equipment, like you can see in the left hand. I have a bunch of different things assigned to my D-pad. I have ammo packs. I have missile launchers, Metagel, which is kind of like a self-revive, and a shield recharge, all which really help you out in very stressful situations. And then also there's equipment that you can attach for each round. So this particular game, I do not have any equipment, but you can attach stuff like, oh, okay, your snipers are stronger for a game, or you have a particular type of ammo for this game, and very cool stuff. There's a lot of customization that goes into it. And then there's also the powers that go into your character, because your character has a certain number of powers. You can see 3 at the very bottom of the screen. And then I also have 2 more passive abilities. And, you have to set up your character right, because though you can level them up to level 20, you don't get enough points to maximize every ability. So you really kind of have to pick and choose how you want to build your character and start doing it. And unfortunately, I did kind of mess this guy up. I put too much abilities into the powers, which I don't use. So what I did was when I got him to level 20, I was able to promote, which is kind of like a prestige in a way. So I was able to kind of like reset everything for him, and then I got to build up the levels again, and then I can reassign points. But what's cool is the multiplayer. The whole reason the multiplayer even exists, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure this is more or less a fact, is it's to help aid the single-player experience. And I don't want to get into too much detail because it's kind of difficult to explain, but basically the more multiplayer you play, the better chance you have of getting a great ending at the end of Mass Effect 3, because there are different endings, or somewhat different endings, and you need like a certain readiness before you go on to the final battle. And multiplayer helps do that. And what's also cool is, going back to that promotion that I was talking about with my character, if you promote them, you can send them into the single-player playthrough to aid the galactic readiness, to give you war assets, just to overall help you out. So that's really cool, because it's they're linked up. And they even went so far as to make an iPhone game that also links up that way, so you could play on your iPhone game and also help your single-player experience. I think it's cool. I think it's nice how they connect, because it gives you a little bit more incentive to play the multiplayer. So this particular mission, we have to eliminate specific targets. There are 4 of them in this round, and if we run out, if the time limit runs out before we can kill them, then we fail the mission. So stuff like that gets a little tough. Sometimes it's easy. Like that particular enemy right there was easy to kill, but later on, in the later levels or with different enemy types, because there are different enemies you can face, it becomes a little more difficult, because sometimes it's a much stronger, beefier enemy or a much more vicious enemy. So yeah, I mean, it is a lot of fun. There's a lot of variety to it, and they keep releasing DLC, new weapons, all that stuff. It's really cool. Now, unfortunately here, I do end up dying, which happens. It's not uncommon for people to go down. And the Geth, who are the enemies that we're facing, execute people really fast. so I really didn't have a chance to wait for anyone. I didn't want to use a meta gel because they're kind of rare, at least for me at the moment, and I'd rather use them in like rounds like 9 and 10 when it's really stressful and trying to get to a teammate's really tough. I have 3 other teammates who are alive, and if they win the round, I come back, so it's not much of an issue. And it was giving me a chance to see what they were doing because I followed this person a lot, and their strategy was really cool, using the stasis, and then they carried a shotgun to really lay down the damage. And it's very interesting to see how people play characters, because I've seen people who put on different weapon types and use different abilities than I do, or maybe they give me new strategies to use. And it is a good experience to watch other people, because I have just unlocked an Asari, but I haven't played them yet. So by watching this person play, I can kind of get an idea of what I want to do. So that way when I go to build my character, I know, what, maybe I should level up stasis all the way, maybe I should throw a shotgun on, and maybe I'll see some success when I throw them on and play a game with them. So, I've been playing Mass Effect. I played the single player through completely, and I've actually gone through the second game again and going into the third game again for a second playthrough. And I just gotta say, I really love this game. I honestly do. It's overall an amazing game. I would probably say game of the year at the moment, because I'm looking forward in the year, and there's really not too many other releases. We do have Assassin's Creed 3 and Resident Evil 6. I'm not sure about Borderlands 2. I don't know if that's coming out this year, but they could be good. I hope Resident Evil 6 is amazing, because 4 was absolutely just a piece of art. It was one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. And then 5,